Hey everyone, welcome back to Great Mechanical Pencils. I have a secret. I love 2mm lead holders. Not just mechanical pencils, lead holders. And there's a difference. And it's the whole reason this video exists. Here's the catch with most of them. Gravity feed. Knock it with the wrong side up and it just falls out straight onto your desk. It's a great pencil, but it can be an annoyance if unexpected. But there's a whole category of 2mm lead holders that skip that problem entirely. Knock advance. Each click pushes the lead out a set amount, no matter which way you're holding it, just like a mechanical pencil. These are the 9 I'm putting side by side today. A vintage American holder, a 90s Italian import, and some models you can still buy. There's 2 Japanese construction grade holders, Staedtler's 925 in silver and black, rOtring's Rapid Pro, the Koh-I-Noor Versatil, and a solid wood Kitaboshi. It doesn't matter which way you knock them, the lid always stays put until you tell it to move. First up is a vintage American lid holder. The True Point standard is likely from the late 1960s or 70s. It had a blue anodized aluminum body and a spring-loaded knock mechanism that feeds out a fixed amount of lead on every click. Holders like this are getting harder to find, and if you got one that still knocks clean, it's definitely worth holding on to. This is the Tech-Matic T4, Alvin's take on this, made in Italy in the 1990s. Push button advance, about 1/8 of an inch of lead per click, and a mini sharpener tucked inside the cap. You can find them still floating around as new old stock today, so it's an easy way into this category. Just know the barrel is plastic, and where the metal grip meets the body, that's the spot where owners report a weak point if you're rough on it. This one is not really built for drafting tables. Fueki makes the SPH20B as an industrial marking pencil, hard enough to write on concrete, steel, even wood. And that's why it's the heaviest holder in this lineup by a wide margin. If you want a 2mm holder that can survive a job site, this one's worth taking a look at. Shoshodo's 400HB is cut from the same cloth, a Japanese architectural marking pencil with a moisture-resistant core. That hole in the top isn't for choking hazards, it's a built-in sharpener, and the spring clip on this one is very nice, and it rides in the shirt pocket without disappearing. The Staedtler 925 needs no introduction if you spent any time around drafting tools. It's still in production, still cheap enough to buy without thinking twice, and that knurled grip is the reference point everyone else in this category is getting compared against. The lead hardness ring runs the full range, 4H, 2H, H, HB, B, 2B, and 4B, so you're not guessing what lead's loaded. And then there's this one, the 35-20B, the same lid holder, but in all black. Same grip, same hardness ring, same mechanism. Staedtler just swapped the silver body color and text for black on black. It's not a different tool, just a different mood. If the silver 925 is the workhorse everybody already owns, the black one is for when you want that exact performance without it looking like it came out of a drafting class. rOtring's Rapid Pro has some serious heft in the hand. It's heavier than the 925, and the hexagonal barrel keeps it from rolling off a tilted table. The cap sharpener works, but lots of owners keep a dedicated sharpener nearby since it's more of a backup than a main tool. The Versatile 5608 is the smallest holder in this group, and it might be the most clever. Unscrew the cap and there's a fairly decent sharpener built into it. It's light, and it's short enough to disappear into your shirt or even your front pants pocket. And it's cheap enough that a lot of people buy 2 or 3 just to keep one handy. I really like this short size, and side by side compared with the Technico, the Versatile is dramatically shorter, almost stubby by comparison. And that's not a design flaw, that's the whole point. Koh-I-Noor built this one to disappear into a pocket, not sit on the drafting table. Kitaboshi calls this one the Adult Pencil, and the idea goes back to 1954. build a mechanical holder that still feels like a real wood pencil. Solid cedar body, not advanced, and it comes with its own twist sharpener. And a shout out to Duffy Moon over at Mamo for putting this one on my radar. It's quietly becoming one of my favorites in my daily rotation. It's the lightest pencil in this whole lineup, and it still writes like a proper drawing tool. And if you haven't stumbled into the Mamo channel yet, it's definitely worth the visit. Here's one that doesn't quite belong in the Not Advanced lineup, but deserves a mention. The Pica-Dry 3030 in 2.8mm. I bought this for use in my wood shop, but truth is, if I need to mark a line on a piece of wood, I usually reach for a Technico instead. But the long nose does make it easy to draw lines in tight spaces. The cap sharpener is handy, even if you can't post it on the back. And its bright color makes it easy to find in my messy shop. And we're going to close out the video with a look at the physical characteristics of these lead holders. The all-metal True Point Standard is 13.2 centimeters long and 11.9 grams empty. And here's the quirk. With that spring-loaded feed, there's resistance built into the mechanism that you have to overcome when loading. And here's a quick look at the balance point. When refilling it, you can't just push the cap down with your thumb and expect the lead to slip in. You have to press it against your hand or the desktop to get past that final piece of spring-loaded resistance. The Tech-Matic T4 is 15 centimeters long, and it lands at the exact same weight as the True Point, 11.9 grams. It has a mini sharpener built into the cap. Pull it off, and there's a small pointer tucked inside, so you're not hunting for a separate tool if the tip goes dull mid-sketch. And here's a quick look at the balance point. The SPH20B is 14 centimeters, and here's where that industrial pedigree shows up on the scale. It weighs in at a whopping 30 grams, making this the heaviest holder we're covering today, by a wide margin. You can feel it the second you pick it up. This pencil isn't trying to be delicate. It was built to survive a work belt, not a pencil case. And here's a quick look at the balance point. This one's aimed at architects and builders for marking directly on lumber or drywall. A completely different job than the drafting table pencils sitting next to it in this lineup. The 400 HB is 14.1 centimeters and weighs in at 18.3 grams. And the balance point is almost mid-center. Here's one of my favorites, the Staedtler 925. Under that finish, it's an aluminum body with a brass inner mechanism. And at around $13 or $14, it sits right in the middle of this lineup, and nowhere near as expensive as the rOtring. This one gives you a real metal build without asking you to pay a premium price for it. It has a comfortable weight of 20 grams. And here's a look at the balance point. The 925 and 2mm is just at home sketching as it is at the drafting table, and for everyday writing. Swap the lead grade, and it goes from fine technical line work to everyday note-taking without missing a beat. The 925 measures in at 14.3 centimeters, That's right in the middle of the pack. It's long enough to feel substantial in your hand, but still short enough to tuck away in a bag without sticking out. Here I wanted to show that the all-black Staedtler 925-35-20B is 14.3 centimeters long and weighs in at 20 grams, the exact same as the silver version. If you just want the 925 feel without the shine, then this is the one you want. The balance point sits right in the middle of the barrel. That centered balance keeps it comfortable through long stretches of writing or drawing, instead of feeling front heavy or tail heavy, the way some metal holders do. Now we're stepping it up in price. The rOtring Rapid Pro runs around $40, easily the most expensive holder in this lineup, more than double what you'd pay for the Staedtler 925. The Rapid Pro is 14.5 centimeters long and weighs in at 25 grams, noticeably heavier in the hand than the Staedtlers, which tracks with that all-metal build. Here's a quick look at the balance point and also a comparison of the Rapid Pro versus the 925 Black. So the Mars Technico is a gravity feed holder, but it's common enough that a lot of you may already own one, so I thought I would include it here for a quick comparison. I'm having some trouble here, but what I'm trying to show you is that the Technico balance point sits closer to the tip, while the Rapid Pro and the Black 925 both land almost dead center. The plastic body Technico weighs 12 grams and is 15.3 centimeters long. While I'm cleaning up, I wanted to take a minute and thank you for watching. And if you'd like a deeper dive on any of these pencils, just let me know which one in the comment section. The Koh-I-Noor Versatil 5608 is designed with portability in mind. It measured 11.5 centimeters long, and it's compact enough to fit easily into your shirt pocket, notebook, pencil case, or everyday bag. It's a little short for sustained detail work, but it's perfect for quick sketches and note-taking. It weighs in at 13.4 grams unloaded. Even in this compact form, the balance remains very close to the center of the pencil. And after loading a stick of 2mm lead, the weight increases only slightly to 14 grams. And here's our last lead holder, the Kitaboshi Adult Pencil. At 16 centimeters long, this is the longest lid holder in today's lineup. Despite its length, it weighs just 10 grams, making it the lightest of the group as well. That's an interesting combination, since longer tools often up weighing more. The balance point falls very close to the center, giving it a neutral feel in the hand. Its simple wooden construction gives it a very different character from the metal and plastic holders we've looked at today, while still remaining practical for everyday writing and sketching. And it's very affordable at the moment. Looking at all 9 of these Nock Advance holders lined up together in this shot, it's clear how many different ways there are to solve the exact same problem. If I had to pick my personal favorites from the group, they'd be the ones that perfectly nail their specific roles. The Staedtler 925 is still the benchmark for precise, balance-driven technical work, especially when I want to draw to unwind. The tiny Koh-I-Noor Versatil is easily the most clever addition to an everyday carry, disappearing right into your pocket for whenever you're away from the desk. And the adult pencil provides a warm, lightweight cedar feel that's just unmatched for note-taking or sketching. Drop a comment below with your favorite, or let me know if there's another incremental holder you think belongs in this lineup. Thank you for watching, and I also want to thank the members of the Knocology Mechanical Pencil Forum, the Mechanical Pencil subreddit and Facebook groups, and a big shout out to my followers on X. Until the next video, good luck with your collection.